From showing you how to get rid of this keyboard that takes forever to get to one letter to the other, swapping it with this one instead, this keyboard up here can be very tedious because you have to do a lot to get to the other side. If you'd like to swap it with a better keyboard, just go into your Apple TV settings and simply click on General and then go into the keyboard and layout. By default, it'll be selected on auto, select grid. Now, if you ever notice you gotta type something up, you have a traditional keyboard right here. Traditional layout, it's easier to get to one letter to the other, much quicker. But of course, you may also be able to quickly click on the notification that may pop up on your Apple device, and you could type up anything you'd like to type up for your Apple TV on your device right there, so long as it's paired to the iCloud account. So like your iPad, your Apple Watch even, and your iPhone. But of course, you can always use the dictation button right here on the side of your remote for a quicker typing experience. Now let's talk about understanding the physical buttons on your controller. A long hold on the TV icon, of course, will take you to your app switcher, control center, profile selection, or even your smart home settings. But a double tap, it'll take you to your app switcher. And from here, you go back to some of your previously open apps, and a swipe up will cause it to automatically force close that app. So if there's an app that's acting buggy, you can force close it and reopen it that way. And then a double tap on the back arrow will take you to your home screensaver. And a single tap will take you back to your home page. But if you find yourself like inside like an app, like deep inside an app as an example, and you play like a movie, if you just quickly long hold, it'll automatically take you back to the default main menu. But now let's say, for example, your Apple TV remote's acting buggy, it's not responding to your command. You can quickly reset the remote. To do this, simply long hold on the TV icon and then hold down on volume down, and just keep doing that for about 5 seconds. And this will do like a soft reboot of the Apple TV remote, which should resolve any bugs, especially if your volume isn't responding. And it should say connected on top when everything's back and running normally. Profile select screen. This is pretty cool, but a lot of people may find it kind of tedious because you always have to constantly click on it to sign in. You could disable this, especially if it's just one person that primarily uses the Apple TV around your household. So simply just select your profile and then just go into your settings. In the settings, go into profile and accounts. And where it says on the very top right here, where it says choose profile on the wake, just turn it off. And just make sure the default profile is selected, and that'll be the account that will always be automatically signed in. But now let's say you have somebody who doesn't have an Apple ID and they also want to have a profile. You can always go back into your settings, go into profile and accounts. From here, go down, select add profile without an Apple ID. All you need to do is just simply enter their name, just do an add for temporary. Select your profile picture image, and then you can select between if you like it to be a kids mode or non-kids mode, and you can add restrictions as well as customize certain things if you feel like your kid might be mature enough to play some certain games. Tap done, profile will be added, and then it will take you to the profile and accounts. From here, you can go back and actually edit additional profile information or remove it, but that's how you can actually include and create a profile without having an Apple ID. If you quickly use the remote and you long hold on the TV icon above here, you can select your profile and sign into your correct profile right here. All the apps you sign in, as well as the apps you rearrange, will automatically be synchronized across your own profile. So if you long hold and you hit edit, you can rearrange the apps to your own personal preference, and then it will be saved to that profile you have selected. Now on the top portion of the screen right here, your status bar, this is where you'll see a bunch of your notifications as well. It's always important to pay attention to this because sometimes it will tell you if your Wi-Fi is connected or not, or if your Apple TV remote is low on batteries like ours is. Now let's say you like to watch something, but also have another little mini display on the side of your screen, watching two things at once. It could be something you're personally watching and your spouse wants to watch something else, or your kids, as an example. So if we go into our Apple TV section as an example, and let's just start a quick video. Let's go ahead and play a movie. And now let's say we're watching something on our phone, right? Go ahead and hit the cast icon, go into AirPlay, and select the Apple TV you like to pair with, right? Right now we're gonna hit replace, as it will replace the audio source. But then if you look on the very bottom, you'll not only see the tool to enhance the audio, like the vocals and stuff like that. If you click on it, you could easily do that using Apple Intelligence if your TV supports it. But there's this picture-in-picture mode, which you can enable. And now you have the ability to watch two things at once. And then if you tap on the TV icon right here on your remote, you can swap the audio source, making that one into the full screen. Or tap again to go back to the other video we were watching. But if you tap on the TV icon one more time, you can move the corner if you like to move it left or right side, or you can close it all entirely. So definitely a cool tool if you like to watch two things at once. And just real quick guys, if you've been enjoying this information so far, if you could kindly take 2 seconds and hit that like button and like, those really do help out the channel because those allow the channel to be powered by you guys, the viewers, which is why you don't see brands taking like a minute or two off your time to me telling you to subscribe to like a VPN or something like that. Thanks to you guys, we don't need brands to power this channel. So big thank you to those that just took the time to simply hitting that like button and like. Really does mean a lot. Let's carry on. The next thing, if you like to use a VPN, don't forget the Apple TV fully does support a VPN. It's as easy as simply just launching the Apple App Store on the Apple TV. Type in VPN and just select the VPN provider you're currently using. You'll be surprised there's actually support for a lot of amazing third-party ones now, like main brand ones like NordVPN as an example, which should allow you the ability to watch other movies and stuff that's not available in your region to be watched on the Apple TV. Now, with the latest version of tvOS, Apple TV Plus is no longer Apple TV Plus. It's now been renamed to Apple TV. So I just want to quickly update that and highlight that for you. But that's not what I want to go ahead and show you because some of these glass icons, if you move the trackpad around ever so slightly, it does cause like a 3D effect, which is kind of cool. A little Easter egg right there, especially if you go over the arcade app as an example. You can move the joystick left to right ever so slightly. It's kind of cool. Nice little bonus right there. But something I want to show you is if you're the individual who likes to watch something as you're falling asleep, but your partner doesn't like the brightness of your display being super bright, yes, you could lower the TV brightness itself, but with the Apple TV, you could also lower it even more. You see, if I triple tap on the back arrow icon on my Apple TV remote, I could dim the screen even more, making the screen even dimmer than what my TV will allow it to do. If you like to enable this tool to triple tap the back arrow, it's as easy as simply just going into your Apple TV settings, go into accessibility, and from here, scroll all the way down to the very bottom where you'll find general accessibility shortcut. From here, just make sure you select light sensitivity, but by simply just check marking light sensitivity, if you read on top, triple tap the click menu, will enable any of these shortcuts you see here, but light sensitivity is what we have enabled. And now a triple tap with the back arrow will dim our screen even more. And then lastly, don't freak out if you lose your Apple TV remote or it's low on batteries, you just don't have time to charge it. If you have an iPhone or even an iPad as an example, if you bring out Control Center, you could add the remote shortcut right here. And if you don't see it, you could just add control and then just type in remote right in here. Add that. And once you add it, you should be able to find it in your Control Center. From here, you can just tap on it. And then where it says choose TV, just select the Apple TV you're connected to. And all your familiar buttons will be located right here. We can actually navigate your Apple TV from here, pause and play. And even the shortcuts work too to open up App Switcher. And the volume rocker on your phone will allow you to adjust the audio of your Apple TV as well. And a long hold will allow you to power it off. Nice remote backup for those emergencies when you can't find your remote. But if you did misplace your remote, you can always select the Apple TV and you'll see a Find Remote icon. By selecting here, this will bring up this page, which will allow you to find the remote a lot easier using the internal sensors. So you could definitely tell if you're getting closer or further away. It's only compatible with this style remote, unfortunately. But you'll find that you can buy this separately, and the likelihood it's compatible on most Apple TVs are pretty high. So you can also upgrade your Apple TV remote this way as well. Now let's say, for example, you have a really awesome surround sound system. Could be an AirPlay surround sound system, like something like a Sonos, a Bose, or even Apple HomePods paired in stereo. If you wish to select that to be the dedicated sound audio output for your Apple TV, you can easily do so now without having to reset it each and every single time. Now you can actually select and make that the default primary. It's as simple as simply just go into your Apple TV settings, go into audio, video, and audio, and then go down to audio output. Select the audio output, and here you can select between a stereo paired AirPod or an individual AirPod. But in the AirPlay section, this little speaker tab will pop up. From here you can select, and if you have like a surround sound system that's paired with Sonos as an example, with Dolby Atmos, you could just manually select it right here, and you can select more than one, and then you could deselect the TV speakers, and now that will be the default audio source each and every single time you boot up the Apple TV. Now, just like a modern day computer or iPhone or iPad, you could actually create a password, and you could lock certain people from apps, TV show ratings, movie rating, and so much more. And if you're the primary parent of the household, as an example, you can set it so your iPhone can easily just unlock some certain things, so you don't have to manually enter a password each and every single time. This is definitely a feature that's always overlooked, and it's pretty awesome if you know what you're doing. You see, to set this up properly, go into your settings and go into the general tab, and then scroll down to restrictions. In here, you will be needing to turn this on manually, and then it will prompt you to enter a 4-digit code. It could just be something 11111. That's a horrible one. Don't use that one. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. But by simply enabling the restriction, you can always go back and change the password. But by doing this, you could give yourself the best peace of mind to prevent people from doing like careless in-app purchases, movie rentals. You can also adjust podcasts as well as music videos. You could adjust basically anything and just go into the app, and you can set the restriction age. If you don't want to allow apps that are 18 and up, you could just manually select it like so. And you'll notice some of these settings I had no idea you could do, such as screen recording. You could disable that if you like to. But let's say, for example, now you're done customizing certain things, and now you want to unlock like the app or something like that. You can either enter the password on the Apple TV, but if you actually have the Apple device that's paired to your Apple ID, you'll get a notification right here. You could simply just tap, and then just like that, it will give you access to the app without having to manually enter the passcode. It's so easy to keep your Apple TV secure. And then wallpapers. There's now a new tool in the settings app where you can actually adjust some of these wallpapers to do other things. So to show you what I mean, let's go into settings real quick, and let's go into the screensavers. In here, you can select between aerials, memories, portraits, which would feature your photos, or the cool Snoopy one you saw earlier. But by selecting aerials as an example, if we exit out of there, and then it'll take you back to this page, and just go down to the screensaver preference. A new tool that got added is that you could select between aerials, and you could decide on what you like to see and what you don't. And the ones you don't like to see, just select it. You'll see like a little eye icon with a little line in the middle. Select the ones you don't like to see, and select the ones you like it to show. Now, if you don't have access to your Apple TV remote, don't panic, because you can actually control your Apple TV as well as your TV power, as well as volume adjustments, all from your Apple device, like your smartphone, iPad, or even the Apple Watch, by launching the Apple TV remote app. Just simply launch Control Center and then tap on the remote icon. But in case you don't see a remote icon on your Control Center layout, just go ahead and tap the plus icon right here, add control, and then search up remote. You'll see the remote icon right here. Select that. And then that's how you can simply add it. You can rearrange it to your own personal preference, move it to a different page, drop it in, just like so. And then once you're satisfied, drop it, and then go ahead and select it. And once you select it, just make sure you choose the correct Apple TV. You may also find support for your smart TV too. It may become compatible with the Apple TV remote app as well. But once you do that, select the Apple TV. Notice how you have access to the power button, mute. You can also adjust the audio by simply just adjusting the volume rocker on your iPhone. Back, everything is fully controlled right here off your phone. And as an added bonus, if you have the silver remote of the Apple TV, this version, in case you misplaced it, you can always launch the Find Remote app right here. And then just like the AirTags, it will actually indicate when you're getting closer or further away from it, in case you misplaced it somewhere in your household. Now, if you're using a monitor for your Apple TV, or you're using an older TV or a television that doesn't support Dolby Vision, utilizing your iPhone's Face ID hardware, you could use the built-in sensors on your smartphone to calibrate the color for that television. You see, by simply going into your settings and go into video and audio, you could scroll down and you'll find you have a color balance calibration you could actually enable right here. And this screen will pop up, and then what you need to do is just use your paired iPhone on the same Wi-Fi network, and this little notification will pop up allowing you to click on it and select continue, and this will allow you to actually place your smartphone on the screen, and it will utilize the hardware of your iPhone to automatically calibrate the colors and everything to make your images look much more accurate, as it should, when it comes to watching movies or even playing games. Now, in case it's grayed out for you if you're trying to do this, it's probably due to the fact you're using Dolby Vision, which is different because that's your television automatically calibrating its color on its end. So you need to disable that and use like HDR10 plus as an example to unlock this feature. That's why it's grayed out. But other than that, there you guys have it. Those are a handful of amazing tips and tricks that your Apple TV can do. But now if you own an Apple Watch and you like to find out what cool stuff this thing can do that's disabled by default, I also go ahead and show you a handful of amazing hidden features and tips and tricks that you could do with your smartwatch. It doesn't matter if it's the Ultra, Series 11, 7, or even the SE Apple Watch. So I definitely recommend clicking on this video over there so you learn more amazing stuff your Apple Watch can do. Thank you so much for watching.